Good evening, guys. Thank you for you all being here, visiting at this event. Happy we have organized a new event after so much time. Today we are going to talk about the CAPE certification, the new one from Hack the Box. And unfortunately, Lorenzo Merlin, Lorenzo will not be able to join us this evening. Unfortunately, and but we still have Mita. And so I will hand things over to him now. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. I have prepared a small presentation just to keep in order the meeting. So I will share you my screen and let me know once you can see it. Okay, so share. Can you confirm me that you can see my screen?
Yes, and I'm loving what I'm watching.
It is just a ready template that I found on Canva. I did it like 15 minutes, so not something special. Okay, so welcome to the CAPE review, a sort of CAPE review certification from. So we will do a small introduction of myself in this case. What is CAPE certification? Why CAPE? What are some of the benefits of taking this certification? The exam structure without any spoilers. We will share some study material and resources, and some difficulties and tips that would help during the exam. Difficulties and tips, they are not only my personal opinion, but I got some also tips that were given by Lorenzo, also Kapla and Gattari on the posts that they did for the CAPE review. Okay, back on track. A small introduction about myself. My name is Meta, aka name is Daniel, aka Meta. Right now I work as a offensive security engineer, meaning that I do not just do penetration testing and red team operations, but we also go around on the net searching for new tools, new methods. We try to develop our methods. We try to study APTs and how the TTPs works, and try to reproduce them on attack simulations. And we construct also infrastructure to be able to do all of this. So we have some internal threat intelligence tools, which we use to collect information about the APTs and the malicious actors, and other tools that we use to do attack surface reduction. So it's not just an offensive security job, but it is something like offensive security engineer, as we also do the system administration part of the infrastructure. Okay, so I work as a pen tester and red teamer. Most of my job is internal operations, so Active Directory infrastructure, some phishing operations, and when possible, some also physical assessments. And also I do some penetration testing. I have worked in the past as a cybersecurity engineer, so I have worked also as a sysadmins as a cybersecurity engineer. So I was configuring firewalls, switches, other cybersecurity solutions, and I have some certifications like CAPE, CPTS, CRTP, and so on. Okay, starting with the first question, what is actually the CAPE certification? So the CAPE stands for Certified Active Directory Pen Testing Expert, and it is a hands-on certification which help candidates to assess their skills on identifying and exploiting, let's say, advanced Active Directory vulnerabilities. For CAPE certification is a hands-on certification related on identifying and exploiting advanced Active Directory vulnerabilities and misconfiguration. It actually focuses on real-world scenarios, and it requires a very good understanding of Active Directory environments. When I say real-world scenarios, I also mean it because most of the certification I've done in the past, they were like CTF styled. So it was difficult to find those misconfigurations, vulnerabilities during an actual assessment. But I found myself during the exam with a quite familiar environment because when I do some Active Directory assessment during my work, I found most of the misconfiguration at least once on my assessments. And so I can also say that as for the previous Hack the Box certifications, like CPTS, is actually a very good practical certification from Hack the Box with a very high level details on the content. Okay, so according to Hack the Box, CAPE could take something more than a month to finish the whole learning path. I can say that took me more time. I think it took me at least 2 or 3 months. It actually depends on how much time you spend and on how much time you and how much experience you have on Active Directory. For me, spending around 2 to 3 hours per day and like 5 to 6 hours in the weekends took me around 2 to 3 months to finish the whole path. So it's the exam lasts 10 days. It's a hand-on exam. It's an open book exam. No one monitors you, and you can use whatever tool you think that might fit in your requirements. You need 90 points to pass the exam. Actually, 90 points means 9 flags because there are 10 flags on the CAPE exam. And you also have to write a fully professional report, and the report is a very important part because, as you might know, a lot of students have failed the CAPE and CPTS report. Those two certifications are the gold certifications for the Hack the Box, so they are pretty severe, let's say, on the report. So ensure that during your assessment, you take good notes, and if you can, to do at the same moment also the report. Okay, I'm going to make the next slide. So why CAPE? What are some benefits and career, and what impact can have to someone's career? Actually, being able to finish the CAPE certification and passing not only the certification, not only the exam itself, but also the learning path, it demonstrates to a very good understanding of complex Active Directory attacks. Because Kerberos and NTLM abuses are difficult in most of the cases, as not all of us work in an actual day-to-day Active Directory assessments. It is not as recognized as offensive security certifications are, but as you can see, and like as someone wrote in the chat before, more jobs are requiring CPTS and other Hack the Box certifications on the description. So probably in the next months, maximum 1-2 years, we will see for sure CPTS as a CAPE as a certification requirement, but also CAPE when maybe for internal red team position and infrastructure penetration testing. As a last point, We have a very big community recognition for CAPE, as in the community, CAPE certified holders, they can be acknowledged as professionals and people with almost excellent understanding of Active Directory. As for time speaking, if I remember well, only 25 people maybe have passed the certification. So it is actually a very difficult certification to take even with a 10 days. Okay, let's do a quick review of some of the modules. So from the advanced of Active Directory enumeration, the CAPE learning path contains the module of LDAP, PowerView, NetExec, and Blowdown. Some of those modules actually, I think it's better that they are not inside the CAPE learning path because they are more introductive in general for such an advanced certification. But let's say that if you have a good understanding of PowerView, LDAP, Blowdown, and NetExec, you will be able to perform the same attacks in more than we have multiple methods to perform the same attacks. You will find yourself to have access on some machines, maybe where you cannot load the PowerView, maybe you cannot load Blowdown, and maybe you don't have any domain credentials for you to use tools like NetExec from a Linux attacking machine. So in that case, having good understanding of LDAP can help you to perform some custom queries. As for Active Directory foothold and lateral movement, we have two modules here, NetLM relay attacks and Windows lateral movement. You will find yourself to perform both NetLM relay attacks, and you will use different methods to do lateral movement. So those two modules, I think they are recognized as high difficulty modules. And I can say you that they are complex enough to understand. NTLM relay attacks are not such, it's not an easy module to understand, so you will be able to use it during the assessment, during the exam, and also the same about Windows lateral movement, because yes, maybe using remote desktop or SSH, it is a very easy method to use to lateral move, but what happens when you don't have any domain credentials, or maybe when you don't have credentials at all, but you have some Kerberos tickets or whatever. So understanding those two modules will help you move from one machine to another during the assessment. As about Active Directory privilege escalation, we have here the ICL attacks and Kerberos attacks. Understanding Kerberos, of course, as everyone can think, it is fundamental because Active Directory is built on Kerberos. It is for now one of the most used protocols for Active Directory authentication. For sure, when we have on-premise Active Directory, so not cloud Active Directory, so it is a very complicated module with complicated content, and you should spend different days on that module to understand it well, so you can manipulate the Kerberos tickets, the granting services, the granting tickets, and so on. About ICL attacks, when we talk about ICL attacks, we mean the different privileges that a domain user, a domain object can have over another domain object. You will find yourself, for example, to have the permission to generic call. You will find yourself to have permissions like changing the password of another user to be able to move laterally in the domain to that other user. So understanding the ICL attacks and having more than one method to perform the same attack will be critical for the environment. We have then some advanced Active Directory TTPs, as Hack-the-Box says. So starting from the Active Directory trust attacks, the trust, of course, are fundamental because the exam is multi-forest exam. You will have multiple domains, including child and parent domains. You will have also multiple forests. So understanding them is crucial to be able to move further on the exam. A very important point that maybe some people, I see many people does this error, is the command and control and the evasion part. It is true that the CAPE certification environment is not focused to evasion, so I can say that evasion is not that hard. You will have a defender on the exam, as also the Hack-the-Box says. But you will have defender not only on the exam, but you will have it on every single machine on the exam. So having a good understanding of a command and control and having created some custom tools, maybe you want to use Mimikatz, but of course if you execute Mimikatz like this in a machine, the defender will stop you. So having understood very well the evasion module will help you with the obfuscation of those malicious binaries, which you might be able then to use without being detected from the defender. But a very good idea is to combine your evasion techniques that you will learn from the evasion modules with command and control module, as you will have a lot of machines to, let's say, to hack, okay, to compromise. You will have multiple users to compromise. Maybe some users will have some permissions, other users will have other permissions. So having all those machines and users under a command and control can help you change, let's say, from one session to another session within the same product. So understanding you don't have to go with Sliver, as Hack-the-Box says. I myself, I used Havoc for the exam. So once you finish the modules, I advise you to go and take Sliver or Havoc or whatever command and control you prefer, and you can repeat the modules again with using a command and control. And of course, we have also some extra attacks related to IDCS, so Active Directory Certification Services, and MySQL Exchange attacks which will help you to do lateral movement and pivot escalation. So every single module from the learning path of the CAPE, you will find it inside the exam. So ensure that do not skip any modules. Maybe you have some experience with Bloodhound, you can, let's say, skip Bloodhound because you don't have to do any custom queries, cipher queries on Bloodhound, but most of the modules, ensure to do them again, repeat them with a command and control, and then go further. Okay, without any spoilers, as we said before, the exam is a 10-day exam. You will have a dedicated server which you will use, so the exam is not shared. It is actually realistic enough, the environment. You will have to take at least 90 points and submit a professional penetration testing report. There is a free retake in case you fail the exam. And of course, as you know, you must not ask help from external people. So if you will have any issues with infrastructure, you can ask the support via email or via the available chat on the academy, but you have also the possibility to to reset the whole environment in case you think that there is something wrong with the environment. All the people have the same environment. What I mean, the exam, you cannot say that some other people had maybe a more stable exam than you. It depends on your internet connection and not on the exam environment that the Hack the Box provides. Okay, about the study materials and resources, of course, you can use the Hack the Box Academy learning path, which you have to finish at 100% before taking the exam. Once so some additional resources, you can check some other extra Hack the Box documentation. What I mean by that is that on CAPE certification, Hack the Box presumes that you have already done the CPTS. So you will not find any module on the CAPE learning path related to transferring files or doing pivoting. Because this is covered on the previous certification of CPTS. You can use a lot of resources online, like community blogs and reviews, like the one that Lorenzo did and Qatari did. So, and you can also practice yourself with some pro labs. Not actually the cybernetics, for example. I think, in my opinion, it is more difficult than the CAPE exam. But what you should take from the pro labs is the Active Directory portion of them. In my case, I had already done those labs, so I did I did a lab again, like Zephyr, to test some of my Active Directory attacks and find more than one way to do the same attack. But I also did some medium to hard boxes on Hack the Box machines. And I can say you that this helped a lot, because some of the attacks you will find on the machines, you probably will also find something similar in the exam, as the same boxes are created by Hack the Box, both exam and machines. Okay, then as some difficulties and tips. So some challenges during the exam is that some flags, they are complex enough. You don't have perform only just one attack to obtain the flag, but you will have to perform different attacks. Maybe you will do a specific abuse, then you will have to enumerate, then you have to do another abuse, then you will have to go back to see maybe you are missing something. So it is a complex exam. For the people that have done CPTS certification and they remember let's say, the infamous flag 9, let's say that, as also other people said, the easiest flag on CAPE certification is the flag 9. So ensure that you have a very good enumeration skill, that you have very good enumeration skills and multiple methods to achieve the same attack, because some tools might not work, maybe other could work. Time management is important. Okay, it's true that you have 10 days and 2 attempts, so a total of 20 days. But the attacks are complex. You have multiple forests, you have multiple domains. So it is not just when you reset the environment, it's not just you will do the pivoting and you are okay, you will have to perform some of the attacks again. So ensure that you are taking good notes, and in the same time you are also preparing, let's say, the report. For the people that have experience on Active Directory, you will not need the full 10 days, because this is not a penetration testing exam, this is an Active Directory exam. That means that you have to do Active Directory attacks. So somehow, with a very good enumeration, you will find your way on. But can take time. Then Okay, let's go to some tips. You need to understand every module. You need actually to understand every module because you will find yourself maybe to do some basic Kerberos attacks, but for some reason they will not work. So understanding what are the errors of the tools, what are the output errors of the tools, ensure that you can read those output errors. I repeat that again because it's very important, because Linux tools, when you have an error or something, they let you know what is the problem. Instead, when you are on Windows, you will have maybe some strange errors and it will be difficult to understand what is the issue, but ensure to have more than one tools and understand the attack that you are doing, understand why are you doing that attack, and what are the requirements of that attack, because maybe you are missing some requirements and for some reason the attack fails. So ensure to have a very good understanding for sure on the Kerberos module. You need a methodology, okay? When you find something, this is a general advice, not only a CAPE advice, but a career advice. When you do enumeration and you find a possible exploitable point, do not exploit directly. So finish with enumeration, ensure that you have enumerated everything, and then once you have enumerated everything, you can start with exploitation phase. So as the first module of the CPTS attack says, follow the penetration testing cycle. So enumerate, 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 and then once you are sure with the given credentials you have done all your enumeration, you can then go on the next phase, which is exploitation. Okay, so yes, I think you should be able to perform all attacks from both Windows and Linux. So as I said before, being able to perform the same attacks with multiple methods, with multiple tools, and from multiple operating systems, it is very crucial. So you don't lose time on searching for errors and other stuff online. Evasion, as I said before, I advise you to use a command and control. You can also do without any command and control, without any C2, but will help you very much on having a very clear and clean structure of your compromise objects. And prepare your tools from before. So ensure that when you finish with the evasion module, to do the same attacks also in your Windows machine, to be sure that the defender update the defender before and perform the same attacks, the same obfuscation methods on your own machine, so you avoid any problems during the exam, because the defender is being updated. So it does not mean when you do something on Hack the Box Academy of evasion that will work also on the exam, because the signatures and the defender methods might be different. So ensure you do a lot of testing before on the evasion before going into the exam. Ensure to have a very good repo professional and so on. You can use a sysrector. You can use also the given template report from Hack the Box. They expect you to use the report they give, so to maintain a bit of professionalism, as they say. And of course, ensure to take regular breaks. Okay, so do not go like there for 12 hours. Maybe some people are able to, but it's important to understand what is your method. For me, going 12 straight hours on the exam will just end me in burnout. So I prefer to go like maybe 4 hours, take a break, eat something, then after a couple of hours continue with the exam. I actually spend during the work days 4 hours on the exam, and I spend something more like 6 to 8 hours on the weekend. So, but I have some experience on Active Directory assessments and infrastructure assessments. So my experience helped me very lot to maintain a good methodology, to have a good methodology, and not spend a lot of time to stuff that let's say are rabbit holes. Okay, this is okay. This is the Q&A actually. So I have finished with the presentation. So I don't know if we can reply to some questions from the chat L, and
Oh yeah, of
we
course.
can go like this.
First of all, I want to thank you for this amazing presentation. I loved it, and then we will share it with the other participants so they can also uh, enjoy your amazing work. And thank you. And now you can um, drink a little. You have talked a lot.
I
And
speak. I speak too much.
and okay, really thank you for this work, for the effort you put. Anyway, so this guy with a strange nickname that I can't read, but it's really cool, is has asked, would you recommend CRTM as training for the Cape? Haha.
I will say actually no. Because I have done both CRTP, CRTE, and CRTM from Altered Security. All of the exams have the same structure, and yes, they have some Active Directory attacks that you can perform, some evasion, but I will say you that Cape it is, let's say, in another level. Okay, so stick with Cape materials, do some boxes, and use some external resources also to study, but I would not recommend CRTM. What I recommend is doing the path. I learned a lot of stuff from Cape, learning path. I learned almost nothing from CRTM except of some evasion techniques, but I didn't have to use them during the exam because CRTM, a bit of Alter Security, they had a bit of, let's say, behind on on Active Directory in general. So you will find some not updated methods to perform the attacks. In Cave, you will have to think also like a sysadmin could think. So I would say no, for sure could help for training, but no.
Okay, thank you. And now, another question. So, the cape is shorter than the CPTS, and it's not so much focused on credentials searching and is pure ID, right?
Yes, it is a pure Active Directory. It is not actually shorter than CPTS. I can say you that CPTS took me more time to finish than CAPE. Because CPTS, it is more complete as an exam, but of course it's also easier. But it's not shorter. You have a lot of machines on CAPE and you have a lot of machines on CPTS. I also think that you might have more machines on CAPE rather than CPTS exam. There are more flags on CPTS, yes, this for sure. But to take one flag from from CAPE is like 3 flags on CPTS. So it can be a bit longer, not shorter.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Sorry, I forgot to reply to the second point, searching for creds. You will have to do your enumeration, you will have to do your credential hunting. So for this reason, as Hack said, and as I mentioned before, it is good for you to have done the Windows Privilege Escalation modules on CPTS from on the one on the Windows and credential hunting methods. So you will have also you have to search for creds.
Okay, thank you. I have a question. I don't know if you mentioned it or I just lost it around the answer. For the free retake, it's like the CPTS, you need to submit the report at first.
Yes, without the report submission, you will not have the second attempt.
Okay, thank you. So now, CAPE for CRTP, CAPE for CRTO, harder. So you are asking which certification is harder to take? If it's CAPE or CRTP or CRTO? I don't have understand it exactly the question.
If this is the question, if it's hard, okay, he's writing.
Uh, anyway, would you recommend CAPE for me? I have a CPTS or SCP, CRTO, and I do penetration testing for 1 year and a half years now, mostly Active Directory.
Okay. We'll reply to the previous question first, which one is harder? Cape is for sure harder. And CRTP and CRTO, I can say it is on the same level because CRTP, you have some basic Active Directory attacks to do and lateral movement. And CRTO, you actually have the difference that you have the callback strike and you do that exam from the callback strike. Actually, now CRTO has changed. I didn't check the environment yet, but I think with the new CRTO environment, CRTO is a bit harder because you have to do some operation, you have to have in the operations. So if you fail multiple times on an attack, you will lose point on CRTO now, I think, which is not the case with CRTP. So I could say Cape first, CRTO second, CRTP as last. Now, for the other question that you did, actually, yes, if you have done the CPTS and SCP, meaning that you have a very complete knowledge of how to perform a very good penetration testing assessment, and you also have CRTO, meaning that you have a very good understanding of OPSAFE or NOPSAFE operations and use of command and control, and you have also experience in penetration testing, mostly AD. I think CAPE is your exam, is your the certification to do next for you. You will like it. You will like it very, very, very much.
Okay, perfect. And then next question. In which way CAPE is easier than cybernetics?
Because cybernetics is considered as a red team laboratory, and in CAPE you just have Active Directory, so you don't have to do any extreme let's say lateral movement. You will have to bypass any extreme security methods like JA, like it's not focused on evasion. Instead, cybernetics being a red team lab, it has much evasion to do inside. So the Active Directory part of CAPE is harder than cybernetics, but the rest is harder on cybernetics than on CAPE.
Okay, thank you. So I have another question. And have you done some labs from VunLab?
I have done only one of them. I don't remember the name, the entry level one. One of the first Active Directory Chains labs, the easy one. Because I had an active subscription on Hack the Box and the VIP Plus on Hack the Box because I was doing some machines. So once this will expire, I will also start with Wool Lab.
Oh, okay, okay. I would like to know if VunLab is a great preparation to CAPE, because in this period I'm just doing VunLab, so
From a guy I know that he has done the Active Directory chains of Wool Lab, he said me yes, they helped a lot for some specific attack case scenarios and identifying some attacks that you can do. So they helped him. So yes.
okay, thank you. So next question. For a beginner in red team pentesting. What should be a certification roadmap for a beginner in red team pentesting?
For sure, it depends on how much experience you have on pentesting in general. If you are a complete beginner also in pentesting, I will advise you to start with a certification like maybe CPTS. If you are not, let's say, completely entry level, you can start with CPTS. And then once you have all the penetration testing methods that you can use during an assessment because they are, let's say, the same that you will use on a red team operations. So for me, from the certification I have done, it is for the entry level, EJPT is very good, easy enough, but very, very good for complete entry level. Then I would skip every other certification. I would go directly to CPTS. And maybe before CAPE, I would have taken CRTO because CRTO teaches you some the right mindset of being a red teamer. And then once you have the penetration testing skills, you have the correct red team mindset, you just miss the active directory portion of the red teaming. So you can go with CRTP if you think that you are not very good on Active Directory, or if you have Active Directory and you do some stuff from your own laboratories and with some boxes, you can skip CRTP and go directly on CAPE. And in this way, you will complete penetration testing skills, red team mindset, and some OPSEC tips from the CRTO, and a complete Active Directory experience, which will help you to go further than on red teaming.
Okay, thank you. And so here we have another question, but I think the guy with the cool nickname has already answered to it. But if you want to add something else to the answer, do you think Cape is harder than APT Labs?
Labs is for sure harder than any other certification or lab I have done. So, but the AD portion of CAPE is harder than APT Labs, but only the AD portion. The rest, no.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, another question. Is the learning path enough to be prepared?
I advise you to do some medium to hard boxes on Hackbox. Maybe if you cannot do them, also viewing the write-ups of those Active Directory box, of course, will help. The path is enough, but in the exam you will have to do multiple attacks, so using multiple modules on the machines. Instead, on the path, you do specific attacks on specific machines, and the skills assessments is only related to that module. So if you can take some boxes and be around in the community, you can help you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, if no one other has questions, thank you for the time that you have dedicated. And from my side, have a good weekend and see you around in the community.
Thank you, Mita. You have done a really great job, and thank you for the effort you have put it in this presentation. Then, if you want to share it with the other members so they can read it and use it for their.
Yes, for sure. I will post it somewhere on the related channel on our server.
Thank you, thank you. And okay, okay, guys. So good weekend, and let's rest a little. Goodbye,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Good night.